Here we are, CRKT in the house. It's the clever girl. It's the folder, not the fixed blade. It's Austin McGlaun, the designer. And he is the man right there on the blade, D2 blade. Yes, it's coated, and I believe it's Cerakote finish. Hollow grind, trailing point. It's big, 9.376 inches overall, and that's a 4-inch blade if I've ever seen one. Cutting edge, 3.75 inches. Blade thickness, 0.15 of an inch. Handle length, 5.25. And the thickness is 0.6 of an inch. I don't believe them. I'm going to check on my own anyhow. 15.1, there it is. Yes, it's 0.6 of an inch. What do we got blade stock wise? Yes, we do have 0.51. At 3, yes, 0.15. And we got 3.7 millimeter blade stock. And that is a big ass, like trailing point. Yeah, that Persian swoop to it. Swoop. And we've got, of course, the deadbolt lock on this thing. It's crazy. Deep carry pocket clip. Can we go left hand? Yes, we can. Ambidextrous thumb studs. Will that lock fail? Hell no. You better hang your Volkswagen off of that sucker to even try. And then you might break the blade. But they've really put that deadbolt locking system through some torture tests. And I'm not sure if I want to take this apart or not. I did take apart the XOC knife. So check my video on the XOC knife that Flavio Icoma designed. And it has the deadbolt on it too. And it'll show you how that works. It's real easy to pull this lock out. But then the rest of it, you're going to strip scales off of here, and then you get liners, and you got to take them off too, and that kind of thing. So it's a little bit more involved. But it's not a lightweight little knife. Come here, darling. Okay, let's see what we got. Yeah, 6.92 ounces. So for you people that want a knife that weighs next to nothing to slip into your pocket, you're not into these big knives, I get it. Almost 200 grams, 196.3 grams. So, yeah, it's a heavy dog. There you go. You've got to go forward position here, which makes me want to cut a piece of paper. Just begs me to. Okay. It's sharp out of the box. D2. Be interesting to get the HRC on that, and I might send it to my buddy Kurt, who's got a Rockwell machine, to do that. The problem you have is the coating makes the readings, it throws them off. So it can make this, if this is a 61, it could read 59. With that coating. So you really have to almost disassemble the knife somewhere and scrape the coating off to get a true read on it. But, and I might do that. It just takes a lot more effort, because then I'd want to disassemble this, because I wouldn't want to scrape the coating off in obvious places on the knife. But it's great action. And of course, with this deadbolt locking system, you've got the ability to change your detent to a tougher detent, or, to a harder detent by screwing this in, or less by unscrewing. So let's see how much we've changed the detent, because we made it tougher. See, blade's not even dropping. Now it is. A little bit. But if I go back in here, unscrew it a little bit, pulled my bit right out. Now let's see. Okay, so now it's a little bit more compliant. You see what I'm saying? But that has nothing to do with the centering of the blade. So how crazy is that? And if you want to, you can just pop this sucker out. See the spring here? And there's threads. And I'm holding the back side of this because otherwise it's just going to fall out. And there's your deadbolt. Just like that. See, now you got to unscrew this screw here because it's actually, the pivot is here. So we haven't taken the pivot apart. See what I'm saying? So it's open. Now, of course, it's got no lock in it. Okay, so it'll just swing open and shut. But this pivot's still together because you can see maybe a little bit of that blue thread locker there. But that pivot screw is screwed into the steel liner here, okay, holding that together. Interesting. Just thought I'd mention it. And so this is easy to pull apart, to look at, and or do maintenance on if that's what you wish. And then this goes right back into here, and I've seen Flavio Icoma do this how many times, but not through a camera. He didn't. And so, yes. And there we are. Screwed back on. All good to go. And there's the drop. This is actually, see, there's a screw that comes through here. There's some screws that come. There is a little detent bar strip that runs, and this screw is part of that assembly. By unscrewing it, you're playing with that tension on that little detent bar that runs down here that has a detent ball on it. So that's how you're affecting that. Look at my XOC video, the disassembly part in the end, and you will know what I'm talking about. This G10 is very aggressive. Ergos are pretty good. I wouldn't like it so much if this was shorter and my hand had to deal with this. It's better that it deals with this. So I'm all done right in here, and that's good because I don't usually like the trailing part to have to, but up here, that's fine. And reverse grip, oh, you know what? That's pretty damn good right there. And of course, being an Afghan vet and everything, he had all those things in mind when he designed this, as far as, carry during combat, etc. You got jimping on this thumb ramp. That's really nice. Of course, it's non-reflective, and it's a big old dog. It'll get right with it. Right with it. And of course, this is part of the Forged by War project. So there is a percentage from these knife sales here that go to support disabled veterans causes. And that is inspirational that CRKT does that and that they're involved with it. And, hey, that anybody really cares. It's nice to see corporate entities that care and are involved, directly involved and contributing. So that's a very, very worthy cause. He was inspired by it, got involved with it, and here you go. So you got the fixed blade, you got the folder. Maybe it's a little heavy. It's a big dog. I don't mind big dogs. Big dogs are good. And this is sharp. It's D2, so it's not like a 8CR13. And it's coated, so even though D2 is not fully... it's not full stainless, it's still going to be pretty corrosion resistant with that coating on it. And pretty attractive design overall. Depends on how you like your knives, but this is definitely got that trailing point. It's got a hollow grind. It ought to be a good little slicer. Definitely can get some piercing done as well. And it's solid. I mean, that sucker is solid right there. Those liners, they're some heavy duty dogs, aren't they? And I'll tell you what, that deadbolt lock system ain't no fainting flower either. I really like it, but I think the fit and finish is pretty good, except you're going to notice that this is very, very tactile. Everything about this. I mean, this is not something that's just smooth baby finger stuff, okay? Not like, you get the Rat one here. Everything's round and very smooth, and everything feels like, little butter. This is not. This is one that says if you have gloves, so much the better. But we're going to latch right onto you. You're going to definitely have some great grip on this knife, regardless of conditions. And absolutely, in that G10, that's tough stuff, my friends. So I think it was pretty well thought out, put together. Check it out. They aren't giving them away. Selling price is $160. Although, use discount code LTK on White Mountain Knives and get 10% off and free shipping. Okay? So, and there's your stats as well. Next page, stats. Pause and read in case we didn't cover them all. Made in Taiwan, not in China. So that's a place where, even Spyderco makes some of the high-end production knives that they put out. Excellent. I like it. It's a good-looking knife. And it's a big dog. Here it is. Clever Girl folder. The 2640. Check it out online. Make your comments below. And you know what we do around here. We love them knives. So you guys stay sharp.